In a major development for the world of Calaradia, the sands of time have shifted back to the ancient Mediterranean. Reports are coming in of a total transformation known as Eagle Rising, a massive overhaul that replaces the traditional factions of Bannerlord with the iron-disciplined legions of Rome and the fierce warriors of the Punic Wars. This is no longer the land you remember. The familiar map has been expanded to include a sprawling recreation of Europe, North Africa, and the Near East. We are seeing a complete tactical shift as the Imperial Romans face off against the powerful Canatian forces of Carthage and the shifting tribes of the Germanics and Celts. On the ground, the gameplay has evolved far beyond simple skirmishing. New specialized mechanics now allow commanders to recruit specific battlefield officers, including standard bearers and personal bodyguards who follow you even into the heart of city centers. The economy and city management have also seen a massive overhaul through the settlement infrastructure system, where players must now choose between building rural food networks or massive urban projects to sustain their growing populations. Perhaps the most striking update is the introduction of the armory system. Military leaders can no longer simply buy the best gear from a local merchant. Instead, you must visit specialized smithing guilds to access faction-specific armors and weapons, with the most elite equipment reserved strictly for those who have sworn loyalty to a kingdom. With the recent inclusion of the Second Punic War update, the stakes have never been higher. Commanders are finding that the addition of new tactical units and the requirement of the realistic battle mod have made every shield wall and cavalry charge more lethal than ever before. The political landscape of this ancient world is more volatile than ever. The Calaradoi Empire, modeled after the height of the Roman Republic in early empire, dominates the central territories with a military machine that prizes discipline above all else. However, their borders are under constant pressure. To the south, the Canatians, the mod's equivalent to Carthage, bring a deadly mix of Numidian cavalry, Iberian infantry, and the terrifying presence of war elephants to the field. These are not just visual changes. The Canatians play with a completely different strategic philosophy, relying on mercenaries and specialized skirmishers to dismantle the rigid Roman formations. Meanwhile, the northern forests are home to the Germanic tribes, a newly expanded faction that offers a brutal alternative to the organized warfare of the south. These warriors trade heavy plate for mobility and raw power, utilizing unique Germanic helms and weaponry that have been meticulously modeled to reflect historical accuracy. The Celts and the Dryatic tribes of Dacia add further layers to this conflict, ensuring that no two wars feel the same. Each culture now possesses its own unique specialist tree, allowing you to field centurions, optios, and even specialized engineers who change the way sieges are conducted. Beyond the front lines, the mod introduces a deeper layer of immersion through its reworked settlement system. Players are no longer just tax collectors, you are architects of civilization. The urban infrastructure choices you make directly impact the health and growth of your cities, forcing a balance between military garrison strength and civil loyalty. If a city becomes overcrowded, you face penalties that could lead to full-scale rebellion. Conversely, focusing on rural infrastructure can turn a backwater village into a breadbasket for your empire, though it leaves your wealth vulnerable to the raiding parties that now roam the map in greater numbers. The integration of the Realistic Battle Mod, or RBM, is a mandatory requirement that fundamentally changes the physics of combat. Arrows no longer behave like laser beams, they carry weight and are affected by the quality of the armor they hit. A legionary in full Lorica Segmentata is now a walking fortress, nearly immune to light skirmisher fire, forcing enemies to use heavy blunt weapons or flanking maneuvers to find a gap in the defense. This creates a slower, more methodical pace of battle, where positioning and the timing of your pilum volleys can determine the fate of 1,000 men. Looking ahead, the development team has hinted at even more ambitious expansions, including the introduction of Hellenic city-states and a potential Scythian nomadic overhaul. The map itself is a masterpiece of design, stretching from the Pillars of Hercules to the borders of the Indus, providing a scale that Bannerlord's engine was truly meant for. For those who seek the thrill of the ancient world, from the roar of the Colosseum to the desperate defense of a Germanic hill fort, Eagle Rising is the definitive experience. The call to arms has been issued, the eagles are rising, and the history of Calaradia is yours to rewrite.